To the Koso Connections podcast, where the ancient art of Japanese fermentation science meets modern natural health. Embark with us on a journey of transformation, exploring age-old wellness practices through inspiring discussions, expert advice, and personal stories. Discover how these traditions can revolutionize your health and well-being today.
Well, welcome to another podcast here in Scottsdale. The purpose of this is to have everybody not only talk about their journey in wellness and also their journey in the future, but also to talk about themselves. So I'd like to introduce Karen Monzingo first, over here on my left, I think. And then, of course, Chelsea Wolf right in the middle. She is new to our company, I guess new meaning a few months, but I've heard a lot about her, and I've met her before. Briefly, though, but now is an opportunity for us to have lunch here at Louis' Deep Chicago Pan Pizza. So we're going to start off right now and just let Chelsea kind of introduce herself, where she's from, what she's about, what she's done in her past, and what her big future is all about. So Chelsea, it's all yours. Go ahead.
Oh, good. My name's Chelsea. I have been a part of the community since April, so a few months now. My past, I've always been kind of in the, running my own business. I used to be a teacher a long time ago. I think it's been like 8 years now, something crazy. I'm a mom. I have a 4-year-old who is, he's just my everything. He just started preschool. So, my husband, thank you. My husband, I've been with him since I was 15 years old and I'm 35. Wow. So, I've been my husband for 20 years. We were high school sweethearts.
Where's his husband? Is he here?
No, he's not here.
He's probably watching a little one.
Yeah, he's at home with my son. They're like, you can bring your son. I was like, he'll be running around this place.
Well, I figured you guys are glued together since you've been together sinst you were 15 years old. He might be anyway.
Yes.
It's happened before.
Yes. So, and I actually have known him since I was 9 years old.
Wow.
Yep. I've lived in Arizona.
Love at first sight.
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Love at 4th grade.
Okay, Chelsea, go ahead.
I've lived in Arizona my whole life, born and raised. I'm an only child. And yeah, I think that's, that's everything incredible. You need to know about me.
Yeah, I'm just curious. I mean, obviously you have a great deal of experience teaching, and I'm sure you've done other business ventures. What really brought you to Koso?
Oh, that's such a good question. So Karen actually talked to me about it probably a year ago. And honestly, she gave me a sample and I took the sample. I was like, okay, yeah, it's delicious, but it's not enough for me that it tastes good. So I kind of didn't really do much of it, didn't reach back out. And then I went to the doctor actually, and I have had blood pressure issues since I had my son 4 years ago. And I've had allergy issues every time, allergy season comes. So I went to the doctor and she was basically telling me you need to be on blood pressure medicine at 35 for the foreseeable future. And you need to be on allergy medicine, 2 different ones, like forever. And I was like, oh my God, at 35, I just didn't want to accept that. So I reached back out to Karen and I was like, all right, give me this Koso Super Drink you've been telling me about.
I'll try it.
I'll try it for a month. Let's see what this is all about. 2 weeks in, she messaged me. She's like, how's it going? And I was like, you know what, Karen? It's like, I have been trying to cut back on my wine for a long, long time. And suddenly I'm not craving it at night anymore. I had cut back on my wine. I was eating a ton of vegetables and fruit, which I've always loved vegetables, but not really a fruit person. So I was like, I feel like 2 weeks in, like something's happening. I don't know. So then I basically told her, I was like, this thing feels a little bit magical. I'll reach back out. And then a week later, I was like, tell me everything I need to know about this company, about who's bringing it here. Tell me everything I need to know.
Well, and the funny thing is when we started talking about the company, I said, join the company. And I was telling her all about it. And she's like, sounds too good to be true. It's like, what's that hedge? Is this a scam? I'm like, no, it's not a scam. It's this good because the day that she signed up, we were having our party in Scottsdale. And I said, sign up, but also like come to this party. And she's like,
I said, wait a minute. I sign in and I just go to this retreat with free facials and get to meet the doctor. I was like, on day 1? She's like, no, really? Yeah.
That was a free facial.
Yeah. And
I was hypnotized. I don't know.
And honestly, about the beauty products, I've never been like a beauty product person. So I was like, yeah, I'll come get a free facial, whatever. And then I tried the products and the next day, like my wrinkles were already like, I was like, okay, maybe this stuff is magical.
Well, I did get to see your picture, and I noticed that you have really thinned out here.
Yes.
You're getting that jawline back probably. And I'm not going to say when you were 9 years old, but obviously you're getting a really good impression of things. I do have a question for you, which is a little bit difficult for some people to answer. I mean, now that you've been on the products, you've taken the products, you've talked about the products, if you had to look back at yourself when you first started and you had to explain that to somebody else, what would you say to them?
About?
I mean, you see a lot of people, they go, I'm not sure, but you were in that position. So now that you see yourself after, can you go back to before and kind of express that to what others might be saying while they're looking at you?
I think for me, my biggest holdback when Karen first brought it to me, she's telling me about the product. She's telling me, what it can do. And I had been on a health journey already for a while, and I had tried a lot of different other products that said they were going to make me feel better, de-stress me, calm my hormones down, my mood swings, all of that. It was always something I was already looking for, especially since I've had my son. And I had tried them and they weren't giving me the results that I wanted. So I think that was my biggest holdback, is like, okay, yeah, another one where someone says it's going to make me feel better and it doesn't. So if I had to go back and tell myself, I think knowing that it's more about healing the inside instead of patching what I was working with. I think I had tried patching little teeny tiny pieces of what I was dealing with, patch my blood pressure, patch my allergies, patch my hormones, patch, my mood swings and
Patch my life.
Patch my back pain, patch it all up. And I wish that I could go back and tell myself, like, this is like an all-encompassing, it heals you from the inside out, and that affects everything. So it's like a all-in-one to give your body the nutrition piece that it's missing, and that can really affect every single part and every single thing that you're dealing with.
You're very astute, because life is like an equilibrium, like an axle. People always talk about, I'm on that side or I'm on this side. But if you look at everything has a balance. And when you have things that are a little bit too heavy on the left side or too heavy on the right side, it's not fair, is it? And life is almost like that. Health is almost identical to that. If you have too much bad things going on in your body, how is it possible for anything good to actually happen? And especially after you go through childbirth and things do take place. I mean, obviously women have certain things take place that men do not. But in your case, you're very astute, because you've made that observation. You realize that somebody was giving you a stuff that was making your axle go way over here, but wasn't working. And I think that most people, when they first start with our program, our products, their axle is really in bad shape. They really are either way lopsided. And you can see that in life too. Somebody has more money than you. Somebody has more intelligence than you. However, there's a way to kind of balance that out too. It has to be fair, and it's hard for people to be fair. So having said all that, I'm going to give Karen Manzingo an opportunity to ask you this last very deep, sincere question.
Oh, no.
You're lucky that Nika's not here. She's going to love this. You're lucky that because Nika always asks those really deep questions, So go ahead. Yeah.
So first off, I would say, when I started my journey with Koso, I had my list of friends that, I thought of that this would be good for, or I'd like to work with. And Chelsea, you were on my list. And I don't know if I had told you that or we had talked about it, but the reason that Chelsea was on my list was, Chelsea and I have worked together in the past in another business. And, Chelsea, you were always if we would work in a group, you were always the last one still working. I was let's be honest, I was the first one laying on the floor. Okay. I was the first one out and done. But that's because before Koso, I didn't have a lot of energy. So I'd work a little while and then I'm done.
I can attest to that.
He can attest to that. And so with Chelsea was always the last one standing. She was always the last one working, but also the relationship that you have with your network, with your customers, with your friends. it was the running joke. Chelsea would be doing live performances, whatever. And the amount of time she would tell the people that she worked with that she loved them. I was like, they get it. Like the 8th, 9th time. I love you guys so much. Thanks so much for supporting me, being here for me. I love you. I love you. I love you.
I do love them, Karen.
She does love them. And I just thought that's really special, the way that you connect with people. And how do you feel like with Koso, you've been able to connect with them? Is that something that you're still working on, or how does it feel changing into the health and wellness? Because if you really do love them, you want them to be healthy.
Right. Yeah. That's a really good question.
Huh?
I feel like, I know.
I'm surprised myself.
I feel like
That makes two of us.
I feel like it's actually shocked me. When I first started this, I was like, oh, it's going to be the same. I'm a great business owner. I have enthusiasm. I'm positive. I uplift it, but it's so different because it's way more personal. I know my people. It's so funny when you start an online business, you sometimes never meet someone and they become one of your closest friends. It's crazy. But this is so different because this is much more intimate, deep level. When I started this, I was just very like, I feel amazing. Come feel amazing with me. It's changed my life. And then when I really started growing and learning more about the product and why it has made me feel the way it feels, when I can start asking those questions where people are opening up to me about their health and their journey, you really have no idea what someone's going through. People had no idea I had blood pressure issues and allergy issues and back pain, chronic back pain since I gave birth. Like people, why would I tell people that?
Right.
My husband knew, my mom knew. That's it.
I didn't know.
Like my best friends in the world didn't know that unless, unless it comes up in conversation. So for me to really take a step and look at my health and my health journey, it's helped me open up. And now it's helping other people come to me and open up about their health journey in a way that I didn't expect. You really don't know what someone has going on in their life until you ask those questions, and you don't even know what you're going to ask. I'll ask something and then, one person might take it one way and then ask a totally different question. And that's what connects with someone and makes them be like, you know what? I'm ready to open up to someone and trust someone and tell them my story.
That's so nice.
I know.
How about a hug, ladies? Deep hug here. Well, now you can understand when I start writing my books why it goes from 1 page to 1,000 pages. Ultimately, there's probably 1 billion pages I should write. But obviously, I'm glad that the talks have helped you. And there's a lot more to all of this. I think it's not just my own goal. I think the company in Japan's goal is to help as many people. And help is a big word. It really is. I mean, help has many meanings. I guess the other way of looking at it is not help. Is get them to be balanced, to get them to be reset. Everybody deserves to live a healthy, happy life. And unfortunately, the majority of people here in the United States do not have a happy, healthy life. I think what I've seen in our community over the last 8 to 9 months is in the beginning, I saw a lot of people unhappy. And now when I do those health talks, I see people smiling. They used to be back in the corner going like this. Now I see them up here going, yeah, please tell me more. So that's the kind of happiness. And I think you're going to share that with your group. Today is definitely going to give you a surge and make you feel more comfortable by doing things like this. You've just shared something so intimate with people that probably most people would see you on the street would go, I don't know that. And that's different. That's why I was saying it's different than selling accessories or fashion. The hardest job that I have is always balancing that with business. Because business is one part.
Yes.
And sometimes I have to let that go and go, well, wait a second. This person really needs your help. It's not about, how you go into the emergency room and they go, where's your insurance? You go, well, I'm bleeding to death. Can I get
yes.
Can I get this stopped? And you're going, well, wait a second. So where's your driver license? It's very difficult to do that. And so this is one good thing, Chelsea, that you'll be able to do is that you don't have to ask people for their driver license. You almost tap them on the shoulder like I have with many of the people that are here in the group today. It's just tap on them and say, here's the product, try it. So I want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. And there's more people. I'm just the messenger here. I'd like to thank you very much for taking the time on the weekend. And of course, thank your hubby for making sure that you're happy and healthy and your family, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank
from the
you.
bottom of our heart. So now I get to hug you, which is always my favorite part. And thank you again. And we'll see you hopefully next time in a solo, which is much longer than this, and more intense than this. But
Oh, good.
yeah. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.